position. There's not too many tanky champions that you're massively worried about trying to play into with a Jhin, so you got to feel good about this one from LNG. For Ultra Prime, your pick potential is crazy. Catch everybody bar Henna, bar Saber, blow his ulti at that point. That could be a really good avenue to kick off a team fight and play the rest of it through.
So Sheer going to try to make good on his TP advantage here. Does just throw down an equalizer in the top side. Krako looks for Saber. Saber just a little too deft on his feet. And the bot lane advantage for Ultra Prime in these early levels looks like it is going to net them Dragon #1. And it's going to get interrupted again.
Yeah, this is horrible. You have to get a kill out of this one. Gonna flash for it.
All right, going to be able to find the cease and desist before he can get through the magical journey. And first blood going the way of Xiaoxia. And you know what? On a blast cones over the wall, they're going to show him respect. They back on away because they know that there is a rumble approaching from the top side. Sheer here to help push in mid, and that numbers advantage will be enough for LNG to net the Dragon.
And this is what you can do with the
sizable cooldown for Henna this early in the game. He's not going to have that ultimate for this potential Rift Herald fight.
No, and that's going to be something that you're really relying on to kick off a potential pick to make these 4v5s happen. Now, face shield.
Bait on towards 2. There's going to be the Cataclysm. There's the knockup. Everybody slept as a sitting duck. Encore finally comes on across the chain CC coming through out of Krako. And that one-shot damage is just huge from Saber. Missing the next one forced off of the play. But now they've used their full combo. Chrono Break comes on across, deals damage over to 2. Opening up the curtain call. Liang Chen can't intercept these. But he's just sliding them through 1xN.
When you're alone. And it looks like it is just going to be this first tower picked up right here for Ultra Prime. The response will be LNG grabbing themselves this Cloud Drake. They're going to look to stack their way on towards that as a soul. Overall, a pretty dang good soul to be able to get for this team comp. If you want it, it allows Krako to just get so much more range trying to get on top of people.
Nice little advantage in regards to gold. That second item power spike going to really help him out for his ability to execute people individually under the 0. Ritzero going to charge in mid here, gets a little bit more play gold. They should be able to finish this on this push as Henna and Xiaoxia continue to pick away at this wave. They do need a little bit of support though, as Sheer here as well means that they can't step up too far, doing their best to hit onto the minions, and they will finally clear away the wave.
Not as proactive as we would have wanted during the laning phases.
Grizzly still looking for a potential engage angle, but they're spacing him quite nicely. Missing, going to get hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but will quickly be able to cleanse it away. Now landing Tempered Fate on towards Henna, who's up too far. Going to be able to back on off despite getting hit by the follow-up damage, and doesn't even really lose any health for it. 5 versus 5 in and around mid. LNG finally able to complete their work on the mid lane turret. And nobody going to fall on down, though. 1xN in a position to potentially get chased down. Henna gets a few shots and slows onto him. Here comes the equalizer, thrown on down by Sheer. Henna still able to space this one out. He's up in front of the whole rest of his team. LNG realize this, look for the engage. A flash encore goes a little bit short, but Saber is able to solo out missing regardless. Now stepping forward, Cataclysm onto 2, and the squishies will just drop in an instant as the curtain call damage comes on across. Sheer trying to burn down Liang Chen will be able to do so. A double kill over to 1xN as the fight is won by LNG.
And Gordon, what are we fighting over right here? That's such a misplay out of Ultra Prime. They hang on, Grizzly looking to go aggressive once again. He's going to get stunned up and just taken down, you have to imagine. Yep, that's going to be 1 kill. It is going to be traded. Can Saber get back out?
Yeah, the getting back out part is where this is going to be tough for Saber.
What are they doing?
Break earlier, sharing a Cataclysm with them.
Yeah, it's actually a wild set of events right there, but I do just want to go back to the start of it. There was nothing to fight over. The Drake that's being taken right now was not being set up for properly by either of these teams. And Ultra Prime try for a fight. We're pushing far enough forwards without having set their mid wave, meaning they lose their mid lane tower and then decide to just push for a second fight anyway. The decision-making there is part of what has been plaguing Ultra Prime. Yes, some of the individual laning hasn't been ideal in a couple of their matchups, but it's this point where you have to make decisions on fights that's just been going wrong, and again, it might be right in front of our eyes.
Saber locked down and can't Chrono Break out, only stays inside of the Cataclysm. Tempered Fate going to block away the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Encore going to land on towards 1xN going to be able to clean it away right away, and Henna is just standing there getting blasted away by this Jhin. It's a double kill to 1xN. LNG win out another fight. This time it's 4 for 0.
Yeah, that's going to be a brilliant fight right there for LNG. They're going to be able to clean up the big purple worm and turn this into even more gold. They're up by 7,500 at this point, only to increase. And Ultra Prime, again, just allows them to rip through the opposition as quickly as possible, get towards that Baron, and now as LNG, all you have to do is cross your T's, dot your I's, and walk it down into the base.
Now pushing on multiple lanes with the addition of that Baron buff. 1XN is going to get right through a plate, and again,
he's hit it.
The Tempered Fate finds its way onto Henna. This guy cannot catch a break. Kroko and Bulldog, the mid-jungle duo, will melt him down with ease. And LNG, now no AD carry on the Ultra Prime side. They're going to be able to break up the base here, Bloxer.
What were we saying earlier, Gordo? Do not sleep on Missing. As good as Kroko and Bulldog and 1XN have been so far, Missing has been on point in this Split 1 2026, and that was just such a beautiful snipe. Are they actually going to be able to end the game right here? I mean, what can Ultra Prime do?
Oh, Jen looking like he's made of paper, just can't stand up against the physical damage when he did go for that MR build early. Forced back into the base by Bulldog. He's still sitting at full HP as he goes into the stasis, and LNG, a quick and easy closeout in game number 1 as they continue to look like far and away the best team in Group Number 1.
Squishy. Maybe I want to have that little bit of extra self-peel that you do get from the Kai'Sa. Of course, you are still quite squishy, and it's going to be very interesting to see how his positioning is going to look during these team fights.
Cost of doing business if you aren't able to find any of the map control in the earlier stages of the game. We're going to see if against an aggressive LNG comp they'll have a chance. But Saber steps on up, Krako's behind him. Easy peasy, couldn't have drawn it up any better. The LNG mid-jungle claim another...
Up this Drake, whilst his bot lane are grabbing towers. I mean, this is just lovely. Although... Oh, Grizzly spotted.
Lurking around, still level 5 though. Bulldog with access to that perfect execution, so Saber's got to be cautious about stepping up too far. The whole while, Kroko working on Chem Tech Dragon. This will go over to LNG, first objective of the game to them.
With the way that...
1XN and Missing, bringing the fight to Ultra Prime in the bottom lane.
Look. Everybody going to be rotating down right here from LNG. Bulldog going for the massive flank. Going to catch Grizzly on his Grom.
Yeah, Grizzly already using a lot of his cooldowns on the Gromp. Will be able to interrupt the Shuriken flip, but it doesn't matter. Bulldog finishes off a solo kill after catching out the opposing jungler, and now going to go for the dive onto Xiaosha. 1XN on the board, 3-0 LNG.
Kroko really nice picking up the...
that's kind of been the story of the series in some ways. It's kind of getting snagged by the engage tools that Missing brings to the table. Time after time, fight after fight.
Flashless.
Keeping themselves in an advantage state. Xiaosha found in the river. This guy is done for.
Yep. The second he was flashless is just going to go down, and 1XN going to be donated that kill for Grizzly to be able to take down these grubs. He should just about be able to pick them all up. No, he's still got one left.
Xiaosha's here to back him up as his Saber. Bulldog takes more than he bargained for, trying to retreat back away. Will actually be able to get out of there. Henna into the backside, but Bulldog immediately retreats. Grizzly going to be the first one to fall in the fight. Kroko now with the crescent guard up, going to try to keep the fight going. Henna's up way too far. Sheer will chop him down with the scissors. Xiaosha forced to retreat, and LNG win the fight 2-0 while 1XN farms turret plates bot.
How on earth did LNG manage to win that fight? Ultra Prime had that one put on a silver platter for them. Bulldog jumping way too far forwards. This isn't even a first item completed Akali. And it just...
probably just blow that right away to create some distance. He holds on to it and ends up baiting in Henna quite a bit there. And then... I mean, I don't even know if you call it baiting, but Missing threat of a grand entrance causes him to flash deeper into the fight. And that's all she wrote for old Henna in that play. It's a 2K individual gold advantage for 1XN. If you have any questions about how we got here.
Yeah, this game has ballooned out of play against... Still, we haven't got to see any big, proper front-to-back team fights. The team fight that we did get to see was incredibly messy, very split. You didn't have Liang Cheng there to be able to deal his damage, use his disruption inherent to the Scion kit as well. And when you look at the composition that Ultra Prime have, they want these front-to-back team fights. They want to try to use a little bit of a wombo combo potentially. They've got a couple good ball delivery systems as well. This game is not over. Ultra Prime do have angles. It's just going to be very hard.
Bulldog potentially a little caught here. Shockwave comes through. Saber trying to keep him in place. Saber going to connect, and it will be a kill going over the way of Saber. Ultra Prime on the board, getting the gold right where they want it to in the pocket. Dive out of here. He just clears the wave and walks on out. He's got his boy missing in his back pocket, so no chance to do much of anything as 1xN claims another turret.
Sending everyone down to the bottom side was always going to concede that tower. Teleport top lane to try to punish a Sheer who is very far up.
Fighting back, going to get knocked up by Liang Chen. Does have the miss to try to keep himself a little bit safe, and actually stepping up, gonna force the flash on Liang Chen, and a flash snip to claim the kill back, but it might be a 1-for-1 trade as Xiaosha is there to hold him still and let Saber finish off the kill. Another big shutdown over to Saber, but Bulldog wants this 1 versus 2, tumbles in towards Saber, thinks better of the decision, and gets himself back under the turret as turrets are dropping in mid for LNG.
They're just going to be able to turn this pressure top lane into gold for themselves. LNG get themselves a mid lane tier 2 tower and a bunch more off of the third. Missing a little bit caught out right here. Of course, Rakan going to be one of the slipperiest champions in the game and is walking away. And again, you've moved multiple members from Ultra Prime up towards the top side of the map at the exact moment at which there's another dragon spawning. That's going to be soul point for LNG just 17 minutes into this game.
Pushing and pulling Ultra Prime around the map. LNG continue to claim each and every objective as it arrives on the map. Yes, the grubs did go over the way of Ultra Prime, but you see how much they're getting. To dissuade the over-aggression, but it's less about the individual play here for LNG than it is what they can turn into gold on the rest of the map. Absolutely. And turn it into gold they do. 5K. The advantage for LNG as Henna nearly gets one shot. 1xN going to have to flash back away and missing. Actually going to be able to finish up the job. Grizzly really wants to be able to find something, really wants to put the Deathless Man down, but it will not happen. 1xN stays alive, stays at 0 deaths for the series, and LNG building up a bigger and bigger lead with the 2 kills they've already claimed. Shockwave on 2 for Saber, but already too many members have dropped. There's just no follow-up available, and Crockett with the front line going to stop Sheer or Missing from being potentially chased down. LNG a 2-for-0 fight and another turret going the way of Bulldog.
What is being lost in all of play around as Ultra Prime, and this Baron is probably going to be this play. This is where you throw everything at LNG, because if you give over this objective to LNG, there's really nothing you can do to try to turn this one around. Liang Chen just dead. I heard the ulti, but he didn't go anywhere, so going to assume that somebody, probably Croco, was able to get ahead of him and body block that one up. It does at least draw multiple members to the other side of the map, so you're not going to be able to go straight towards the Baron. Vision for LNG that they are more than comfortable to step up right now, continue putting the pressure on. It's making it very scary for Ultra Prime to step in. Teleport coming on down. That is going to be Sheer.
Going to the first one in, 4 members jump onto him, but he just uses the mist and kites it out. Now Liang Chen arrives to the scene as well. Missing going to be on top of him. They find the knock-up, and they say, hey, you know what? We'll hit whoever's in front of us. Liang Chen caught away, going to have to flash back towards the safety of the rest of his team. They continue to try to work with his health bar. Sheer stepping up. Engage found from the quickness onto all 4 members. Bulldog dashing on in there and just going to execute him as 1xN arrives to clean house. Sheer and 1xN is too much damage to handle. LNG find a quick 4-for-0, and they're going to march over to Dragon Soul.
You can see a nice big smile on Sheer's face as that play comes on through. Saber, he did find himself that big shockwave, but it just was too little too late. Soul point grabbed. Bot lane tier 2 tower going to be ripped through as well. And still, there's Baron available too. Is going to be a king's ransom right here for LNG.
Sheer getting a solo inner turret gold. Those plates are so valuable. Sheer is on an absolute tear on this Gwen, and you know what? That 4-man shockwave, probably the best you could hope for Saber, and you just see it isn't enough. Massive mistakes from LNG, and they are not looking like they're going to make them. They find Grizzly in the jungle, chunk him down to a tiny sliver. Sheer in a 1 versus 2. Saber did connect to the shockwave there, so he's running a little low on damage. He can regen a lot of health here, but the chain CC from Xiaosha is enough. Saber gets himself a 3rd shutdown this game.
There we go. That is going to be something. Again, we keep talking about it. Ultra Prime just trying to scrape together whatever little bits of gold they can, but they are losing out onto this tower in the top lane no matter what. No way that Grizzly's going to be able to step up to stop this one from falling. Missing, thinking about starting a fight off for his team. A bit of discordance though. 1xn's trying to walk away.
1xn nearly one-shot Xiaosha throwing themselves in to decide that this game is done and dusted. It's 11K in their side. They decide when and where things happen. Wow, 1xn just looking to one-shot Henna once again, playing aggressive here. Henna will be able to stay alive. TP being channeled. Bulldog found Xiaosha in the jungle along with Croco, and like I said, they'll take anybody that they find. They're strong enough that even the tankier front line of Ultra Prime melts like butter. 2-0 LNG.
And this is going
LNG just kind of close out the game. You know, this is looking like it's going to go even longer than game number 1 somehow, even though LNG seem to have had an even larger advantage throughout it. But the one way you probably lose this game is that you mad overstay and give over a million shutdowns and let Henna and Saber actually play the video game. So
yeah,
they're going to play it calm and controlled, and
it makes sense.
Take a wild guess, it'll probably give them the win.
I would think so. There would be some real miracles coming through if it wasn't. And you do really want
Rocco or 1xn or anybody, frankly. He does want to try to get a little bit more gold to have a chance to be able to scale into this game on the 1% likelihood that LNG make a major mistake and give Ultra Prime an opportunity. Sheer going to continue to push on through mid. This inhibitor not long for the world blocker.
Really is not. Sheer stepping up to it is finally what's going to crack the base. Ultra Prime, they decide to go.
Bulldog in there as well, gonna have to hold the stasis. Missing arrives with the quickness though to try to hold him still. Shockwave pulls 1xn back away as he flashes into the brawl, but not before he deals enough damage to let Bulldog clean up 2. 3-0 to LNG already. One Nexus turret falls, the second soon to follow. Saber going to be the target. Can he take down 1xn? Can he give a death to the marksman? No, he cannot. LNG 2-0. 1xn deathless on the series.
1xn just refused